لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله.
Why is it that a group of people who claim to be destined for an abode of eternal success are miserably unsuccessful in this transient life? Why is it that a group of people who are meant to be the Khalifas of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon this earth, the vicegerents of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon this earth, have become slaves to a godless capitalist society? Why is it that when you speak to these people and you speak about the atrocities which are committed against them, they all say they are committed because we are Muslims? They all say that our civil liberties are being eroded because we are Muslims. But when you look at them and you look at the solution that they're looking for, it's somewhere else. It's not in the Quran and the Sunnah. They are looking at this philosophy, or they are looking at this ideology. They say the problem is that we're Muslims. That what is happening to us today is because we are Muslims. But if you look into their lives, they are looking at this philosophy. But one thing that they don't look at is the Quran and the Sunnah. And understand, for everybody else, other philosophies will work, other ideologies will work, but for the Muslims, no other ideology, no philosophy will work. The only thing which will bring back the izzah of the Muslims is the Quran and the Sunnah. That is the only thing. And therefore let's look into the life of the Prophet ﷺ and the words of the Prophet ﷺ. Upon occasion, the Prophet ﷺ was speaking to a group of Sahaba radiallahu anhum about a time which will be full of fitna. And the Sahaba became very concerned. And they said, Mal makhruju minha. They said, what will be the way out, O Messenger of Allah? They became concerned. They said, what will be the way out? And the Prophet ﷺ said, Kitabullah. He said, hold on to the book of Allah in the time of fitna. This is what you have to do. And this is why for 1400 years, not a word, not a letter, not a dot has changed in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. 1400 years. In the period of 1400 years, rivers change direction. Civilizations fall and others rise. Languages become extinct and others evolve. But the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is exactly the way it was revealed 1400 years ago upon the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is a book regarding which Allah says, Inna nahnu nazalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafidhun. We have revealed it and we will look after it. Allah has taken the duty upon himself to look after the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And therefore no interpolation can come unto it. So the Prophet ﷺ said, hold on to the book of Allah. فِيهِ نَبَأُ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ. In it is the narratives of those who came before you. The stories of those who came before you. The Prophet ﷺ is speaking about the time of fitna. So what relation does fitna have about the stories in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a thing called sunnahs. And the sunnahs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never change. They remain the same throughout humanity. And this is why, that if you want to understand why you're in the decadence that you find yourself in today, then you look into the stories of the old and you will find relevances. You will find how the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came to them. And if you look into the story of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam and Fir'aun, you will find many relevances. You will find many relevances. What made Fir'aun haughty? What made him proud? It was his power. And this is why he killed, in some narration, 20,000 Israelite children. In some narration, 80,000. He butchered them because he wanted to secure his kursi. And you look at the powers today, that they can kill 1.5 million children in Iraq to spread their hegemony. This is exactly the same thing. Fir'aun had a policy that either you were with him or you were against him. And if you were against him, then Fir'aun would put you into bondage. What does society, what do the powers of today do? They put you in bondage, but bondage of many types. See, today what they do, they slap embargoes upon you, sanctions upon you. So when your people are sick, they don't have the medicine to cure. When you want petrol, you don't have the petrol. You don't have the infrastructure in your country. You cripple that economy. It's bondage. It's slavery. It's just a different form of slavery. And really, it would be no exaggeration to say that the Muslims living in the West are like Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, who grew up in the house of Fir'aun. Because Musa alayhi salatu wasalam grew up in the house of Fir'aun. And the Muslims in the West are like Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, who grew up in the house of Fir'aun. And he was a source of destruction for Fir'aun. But the reality is that we do not want to be a source of destruction for these people. Because the reality is that many of these people are good at heart. But we have failed in our duty. We have failed in our duty to these people, to call them towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because we're caught up in the rat race. And all our days spent in the dunya, we have no time for anything else. We are the ummatis of a man sallallahu alayhi wasallam, after who no other prophet will come. And therefore the duty of propagating this deen is upon our shoulders. And you look into the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, for 40 years, even before prophethood, the Prophet ﷺ won the hearts and the minds of the mushrikeen. And this is why, when he stood up on the mountain of Safa, and he said, if I was to tell you that there is a group, an army who are ready to attack you, would you believe me? And in one voice they all said, indeed we are ready to believe you, because we have always found you to be Ameen, we have always found you to be Sadiq. When the mushrikeen would have given an example of a person who had an upright character amongst them, they would say, look at Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And even then, with his upright character, they turned away. Even then. And you look at our state, we want the dunya to convert, but look at ourselves, look at our state. We are regarded by the rest of humanity as the most self-righteous, self-conceited, whinging group of people on the face of this earth. Because we are always blaming other people for our decadence that we find ourselves in. And the reality is that we need to have a proactive approach. We need to put our energies back into society. We need to change ourselves. Because if we can't change ourselves, there's no way that we're going to revolutionize the dunya. You know, if you can't wake up for the Fajr namaz, then don't speak about revolutionizing the world, really. Because how is the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going to descend upon a group of people? Look at our society. Wallahi, look at our society. That 90%, 80 or even 70, even 50% of our women don't even know the farz of ghusl. You expect the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to descend? We have sisters, we have cousins who don't even know the farz of Allah, of ghusl. They are mothers, they are wives. The whole life they go through it in a nafaq state. How do you expect the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to descend? The entire life they go through their life, and the only time they become pak is the day they die and they are given ghusl. And then you expect the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to descend? See, the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you must do as much as you can, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help descends. And you look in the life of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will see this again and again and again, that he did as much as he could. And then the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descended. And understand that to call people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a difficult duty, and you will find obstacles. But if you remain steadfast, if you stand for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then your ajr is by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you will find obstacles. So this is the approach that the Muslims should have, that you have a proactive and you do sabr upon the calamities, because our dar, our abode is the hereafter. This is what the Muslims aspire for. So the Prophet ﷺ said a time of fitna will come. So in this time of fitna, hold on to the book of Allah. فِيهِ نَبَأُ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ. In it is the narratives of those who came before you. وَخَبْرُهُمَا بَعْدَكُمْ. And the stories of those who will come after you. The news of those who will come after you. Why does Allah mention the news of those who will come after you? See, the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a book which is a source of guidance until the final day.